Greetings, mortals. Welcome back.
Fire or a weapon? I could probably make that happen. How's it going? I have updated already. I have not shared the thing. Oh, look, it's me. Imagine that. Ooh, apparently Apple TV rewards are available. Whatever the hell that means. I guess I should probably close all these tabs. We don't need random YouTube videos in the background. Let's see here. Let's go over to Let's Play. Oop. What do we want to call this? Let's do the one that I didn't want to put on Twitch because I was worried about flagging something. There we go. Done. Nailed it. Live scene. Click. Boom. Watered the plants. Every time I start up, I feel like I've forgotten to do something, and I'm usually correct. Hey, Malika. Yeah, just kidding. So we're going to fire a weapon in our inventory immediately so that I don't forget. This is Fire Spike. Do I have a weapon that's unenchanted somewhere? I mean, technically I have achieved the objective. I did cast Fire Aura on a weapon in my inventory. That did technically just happen. Let's see. Oh, we did not. I just updated. Yes. But let's take a look at our... My recovery time's 44, which is not as good as it was before. Does this have a speed now? This does not have a speed now. We noticed the other day that this club doesn't seem to have a speed attached to it. I don't know if it's defaulting to 1 or what's happening with it. But the other weapons all have a attack speed associated with it, and this one doesn't. So, but yeah, we were at 26 before. Now we're at 44, which is substantially slower. I don't know if anything changed there. Just looking for an unenchanted weapon. I don't actually know that we have an unenchanted weapon, so we might have to make do with having cast it on a weapon that it won't work on. Let's see. Oh, there was a weapon rework over the weekend. So I should take a look at all of my stuff.
That's no.
That's probably it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that I have any unenchanted weapons actually. I don't think you've ever been wrong, right? I think it's very normal in life to go through life and never be wrong about anything at all. I think that's that's a reasonable expectation in life. All right. Well, we're gonna save this. We did cast Fire Aura on a weapon. It didn't stick, but that's okay. Let's take a look at, I guess, our. Let's take a look at our recovery quick. see if anything's changed there. Because I don't know. This is a lot higher, right? And this is a lot lower, I think. Interesting. I don't think it was this low, because I think it was like 70 and it went down to like 35 or something. 4,600, 7,800. Interesting. Do I have all my buffs active? I do, right? Yes. All right, let's take a look. This is 1% chance to have AC and increases crit strike damage by 3%. Okay, yes, I remember reading something about that. So that's going to change Severia's life substantially because she's already luck capped, so her crit chance is 100%. So she's going to be critting for insane levels now, probably. Interesting. Okay, so that's a shit ton. Oh! Okay, so there's now a percentage modifier on weapon skill as well. Okay, so with that being the case, we need to get you equipped with an actual weapon. Let's see. That is such a good item that I doubt I'm going to have much use for because I think everybody's got a legendary. Yeah.
Now this will
Let's see here. Anything else we want to do? Let's see. Gotta keep that one on. Alright, let's take a look at recovery. So 53 recovery. We got a recovery of 157 on you. Not too bad. 87 recovery, 53, and 61. So let's see, you can. Anything else that I need to change up? I don't think there's anything else that I need to change up immediately. Let's see. Gotcha. So if I gave you your offhand back, which I might actually want to do just because I'm not going to be taking the huge bursts of damage anymore, because I'm going to be dealing with the interior, not the exterior. This is the thing I was equipping, right? Yes. If I were to equip you, it's not that huge a difference because I have not invested into the actual skill. So the modifier is not being contributed to very much. Okay, we're going to pop in here. And we're going to immediately have some enemies coming after us. This seems fine. Okay, that's concerning. That's very concerning. So let's try jumping in here and seeing if there's a possibility of splitting these a bit, maybe, or getting into this doorway and using a corner here, maybe. No, that corner might work, but not with any consistency for our purposes here. I tend to use different titles for the stuff that I manually type into Discord and the stuff that I put for the title. Just because I'll often come up with multiple potential titles. Killing Cregan is the one that I came up with initially, but I try to avoid using certain words in my titles in Twitch because Twitch really doesn't like certain words, and I think killing might be one of them. So I avoid killing in my my Twitch titles sometimes, but not consistently. It can cause problems for me when I'm trying to do the thing because I'll think that the title has changed because I'm putting in the title on Streamlabs. I'm not putting in the title on Twitch, right? But the title didn't change because there's like a there's a censored word in the title, right? So, because there's a censored word in the title, it doesn't actually change the title, and then I have the old title, which is often a different game. Though not these days, it wouldn't be a different game very often. Let's see here. I'm actually going to invis in because I don't know that there's a lot of reason to think that I'm going to get in here immediately and not and be able to actually figure out a way to do this without fingering. I think this corner might actually be okay as a spot to fight in. We're gonna have to find out. It doesn't look like it. I think that that's probably gonna just have them wandering around. We'll be able to reduce the damage a little bit by doing that, but it's not gonna be by a lot. So we're just going to pop past there, and we're going to need to find a better location, or we'll get really lucky and have a single Devil Warrior at the start, and we'll just kill it. Enter here. We do not have any food, so it's possible that we can... This is probably not actually going to be that bad. Because they're willing to split quite a bit. We unfortunately got two really small packs at the entrance here, which I would prefer to have larger packs than this. There's nothing specific about like preventing us from using apples. But I'm probably not going to use them for this. Because I don't know that there's really too much reason to. That tiny pack that I just fought was already 5%. So... Oh, hello. Wait, I can make my party subsist completely on Dragon Eyes? Is that a thing I could do? Severi just hit for 105,000. Seems like a pretty big hit. Unfortunately, Sloria went down. Ooh, boy, this is going to be a little rough. Alright, so the fireballs are going to be a big deal. Because I have multiple characters that are going to take quite a lot of damage that just don't have that much resistance. You have 94% resist. I could probably pump that pretty easily. I'm not going to worry about it right now, but I could probably do that. Okay, they're going to split up and go in random directions. And if I could get them to do what I want them to do, which is have some of them come into this area. That would certainly be convenient, but it does look like they're currently just splitting between those two areas. Okay, this one is in the room with me. It's not as bad as it could be here, but it's actually a lot worse than I was expecting. Okay, we got a double captain here. Okay, ooh, we got a parrot. 143k? Holy shit. Let's take a look at our damage output right now. Okay, so Severia, the change to the axe skill has definitely made some alterations to Severia's whole deal. Holy shit. So Severia's back in proper Severia form, it looks like. We're gonna try this Devil Captain. I'm gonna take a look at the damage output again in a second, but let's see. Yeah, this seems like a good change around to me. So a couple things of note that have changed. So my shaman, who previously was fully skating by with just their magic skills and not any investment into their actual weapon skill, is now doing pretty good damage compared to the other characters that aren't dedicated damage dealers with a shield, but isn't like out damaging my Seraph, who has 45 sword skill, right? So that's really nice. The fact that my Seraph is actually doing 11% damage now instead of like they were at like 4% eventually, right? That's very good. The fact that Severia is now top damage again is debatable, right? Like who should be doing more damage between Severia and Ashcore is kind of like up in the air, right? That's not like a I don't have a super strong opinion on that. Honestly, based off of their stats right now, I would say that Severia should be out damaging Ash because Ash doesn't have anywhere near as high of accuracy. So Severia has 1600 accuracy, which is just a huge amount of accuracy. Fully makes sense that she has substantially more DPS than Ashcore, but Ashcore still has competitive damage, right? 28% of the overall damage. That's Severia's doing maybe 50% more damage right now. And let's see. Unfortunately, Korgrik is still doing very weak damage. Korgrik has a very low crit rate right now. I think Korgrik kind of doesn't have that great of stats overall. And Korgrik doesn't have the thing anymore, I think. Yeah, it looks... Korgrik doesn't have the percentage damage thing. So Korgrik's damage isn't great, but Korgrik is also sitting on 7-ish. No, even more because Arms Master. So Korgrik is like 10 Arms Master behind, and the fact that this is a GM makes a bigger difference on Ash now, and Mace isn't that damaging a primary weapon. Interesting, Staff is usable with unarmed. This might be fun to try. I might not do a monk. I might do a troll again. That might be fun to try out. I might try doing an unarmed staff troll. For the next thing. Yeah, trolls get GM staff. Let's see. Interesting. Yeah, that might be fun to do. I might do this. rather than have the dual wield, because I found a lot of really cool stabs, especially early in the game. They don't get GM unarmed. They only get expert unarmed, which is unfortunate, especially because I feel like trolls traditionally have like natural weapons. Like they generally have claws, right? But I don't think trolls can even learn dodge. So they get leather GM, but they don't even get dodge. Like they're not really like the monks of this game, of Might and Magic 8, but they have some of the components, and others they don't. I think that it would be fun. I think I'm going to keep the troll, just because I think it's fun, and also I think that it's fun to make a character that's closer to Beast Lord, because Korg was originally a Beast Lord in EverQuest. That's the originating point for the character. Okay, if we can get these down before they all consolidate, that's great, but I don't think we can. So we're going to get them to split here, probably. Or not. Maybe they'll just maybe they'll all just join up here. And that's going to be great for us and not bad at all. Right, looks like they are now splitting a bit. But they're only splitting a bit. They're not splitting as much as we need them to accomplish our objectives right now. I need you to stay alive, please. Whew. I'm not going to be swapping the... for purely aesthetic and characterization reasons, I'm not going to be... swapping the troll's race. A vampire troll would be pretty cool, I think. There'd be like a lot of really cool, like that would be a very high healing character. That would be very cool. But someone else is going to have to try that out, unless I decide to use a multi-troll setup, which I probably won't do. I probably won't do that in part just because, like, it's like already something that commonly people have done because trolls got popular for a while. Let's see. I am nothing if not a hipster. Alright, so we've actually gotten 26% clearance already, and we've only opened one door. I thought that this dungeon was bigger than this. But hopefully... Weird. We only aggroed one enemy. Can we get it to come to us? Oh, is there only one enemy? No. No shot. Oh, there's only one enemy in this whole room.
That's no good.
Yeah, I think that a vampire troll would be a very powerful combination that I think is very cool.
I can't identify it.
I think it's a really good idea. But yeah, it's for aesthetic reasons. I wouldn't do it. Let's see here. I have a very soft spot specifically for trolls because coming from the EverQuest background, trolls really got the short end of the stick multiple times in EverQuest. In ways that were like, that really came out of nowhere, right? Like, trolls were a very interesting, problem for a lot of reasons in EverQuest because of a mixture of design reasons as well as like artistic choices that aren't really design. Well, they affected design, but they were fundamentally choices of like narrative and stuff like that. So one thing that was really wild was to give you an idea. Like Trolls had like famously like one of the least like they had one of the hardest like start locations / like one of the worst like starting cities that anybody had. It was a really rough place. It was kind of difficult to kind of get anywhere, and it was there wasn't a lot in terms of amenities. And there was an expansion that was like, ooh, this is an entire expansion that's all about the trolls. This is the troll expansion. And so everyone's really hyped and excited for the expansion release. And the expansion comes out, and all of the trolls are no longer starting in their starting city. It's like, oh, do we have a new starting city? No, they get shunted into the foreign quarter of the Dark Elf city because a new race was implemented that stole the troll starting city and made it a better city. And the thing that was really wild was that the sort of like evil, the sort of there was a whole faction system that was kind of like loosely segregated into alignments, but was also like just individualized races with individualized like political architecture between them. And one of the things that was really wild was that trolls were kill on sight in a lot of portions of their new starting city. So like the city that a troll would start in now, in good portions of the city, the guards would just murder you if you walked into them. It was wild. And this was, again, during the troll expansion. So, yeah, it was an interesting time. It was pretty bad. It was a bad time. Yeah, the way that EverQuest handled the different like races and stuff like that, the faction system in general was very cool, right? I think it was technically possible to create a Dark Elf to give you an idea of how weird. To give you an idea of how weird the faction system was, depending on what religion and class you were, I think you could be kill on sight with the necromancers in your own home city as a Dark Elf anyway, because the Dark Elves basically worship the god of hate. I didn't intend to close the doors, but yes, I did close them. Yeah, I had no idea they could be. So I think that you could technically create a Dark Elf that was kill on sight in their own city as well, but it was hard, and there were only very small portions of the city that you could make it happen with. But generally, the Dark Elves hated each other, which is on brand because they worshipped Inaruk, which is the god of hate. So their idea was, if we hate each other and everyone else enough, we can destroy the world with our hate. And that is literally their religion. Wild shit. The religions in EverQuest were actually really wild. They were a fairly major component of the game, both because you would eventually go to the planes of the deities, and so, religion is important when you're killing a god. But also, in addition to that, there was, it's very pretty much completely derived from not completely derived. It's like you take some of the essence of it, but not the entire thing, right? Because like the Drow religion in D&D, the deity is like they're chaotic evil. I would say that the chaos comes before the evil, almost, where it's like Lolth is a troll, like an internet troll. Like the god Lolth is fundamentally, her whole deal is fucking with her people, and making them do weird, wild shit, and then abandoning them in their moment of need. Like Lolth has no ambitions, really, because she just cares about like being a troll. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. Right, like the chaotic portion of chaotic evil is way more important than the evil portion. Obviously, the fact that she's evil means that the chaotic shit she does is evil flavored, but she doesn't have like great imperial ambitions, right? Like Lolth's followers do, right? Like the Dark Elves are constantly trying to conquer the world or whatever, right? But like, is there like a specific combo I'm supposed to press? I don't even remember how this works. Okay, well, it worked. That's a boss. Okay. But like the Lolth will like kind of pretend and egg on these like massive conquests that her people try to do, and then she'll just undermine them like for the lulz, right? Like Lolth is very funny. Bear in mind, this is based off of half-remembered shit from books a billion years ago. But the impression that I get from Lolth is very much internet troll, and I stand by that. Whereas Inaruk is like puts the evil in evil. Like I don't even know what Inaruk does. Inaruk is very much like just like I feel like Inaruk was self-destructive in a way that's in some ways akin to the self-destructiveness of Lolth, but whereas the self-destructiveness of Lolth self-destructiveness is not fair because Lolth doesn't have the same ambitions that her followers does. Whereas like Inaruk does kind of have like hateful, ambition vibes, but is like, okay, well, I just care about making everybody hate each other. So if everyone destroys each other, I care about that on like an ideological level. Like I want my followers killing each other, not because it's funny, which is Lolth, but because I am ideologically committed to hatred, which is Inaruk. Inaruk is ideologically committed to hatred. Lolth is ideologically committed to lulz. So that's the distinction between those two. But EverQuest had some really cool like gods. Like Ralos Zek is the god of war, and Ralos Zek created the perfect imperial species, like in the ogres, that basically just conquered everybody else. And because the ogres were so like completely overpowered, the like a whole cadre of elven deities and a bunch of other people got together and cursed the ogres to be idiots. because they were this incredibly powerful imperial force that just kind of conquered the whole fucking world. And the elves were not super happy about that, but more importantly, like 15 gods were not super stoked about all of their worshippers being subservient to the ogres. Because the ogres conquered everybody. Because their god is the god of war, so obviously they're going to conquer everybody. And because basically each of the races kind of has like a patron deity that kind of just made them, right? Similar to like Lord of the Rings in that regard, right? Where like a specific divine force created the different races. But the unlike Tolkien, there isn't like one divine force that's like the one true god, while all the others are, not. So intrinsically, some of the races are superior because they were created by the actual over deity. Again, weird stuff going on there. But so the Relosian ogres basically conquered the world because of their, them worshiping a god of war and being created for war by a god of war.
No space.
And they got cursed by a collaboration of multiple deities that got together and said, hey, look, you might be the god of war, but you are only one god. We are going to curse the shit out of your favored children. And there's nothing you can do about it because there is still one of you. And so that happened. This happens prior to the existence of EverQuest. This is like prehistory stuff. In the Planes of Power expansion, you actually run into there's like an actual Relosian pre-curse ogre that's just like hanging around the capital city of the ogres and shit-talking that shit-talks you as a player because you are one of the post-curse ogres. And it's very wild. Let's just say this guy is not super, like, sympathetic to the fact that you've been cursed and is just like, yeah, you're basically a useless piece of shit. Unlike me, because I was created by Ralos to be perfect, and you are kind of shitty. Can I release you? I can release you! Interesting! So I've released Roland. Interesting. I don't know that I've ever released Roland before we did the war quests before. But that's funny. Did we turn in the war quests? We did, right? I can check. Do I have Lauren? Oh shit! I still have Lauren Steele in my inventory. We didn't turn in these quests, huh? Why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do the quests? Why did we come here before we even did the quests? That's a weird thing to do, right? Okay, do we... I thought I had two, but I have Lauren Steele just hanging out with me.
I wish I knew.
But I didn't... I thought that I then, like, just went back to my base and the people were already there, right? That's the thing. I thought that the people were already there, so I didn't need to pass time in order to start the war. I just needed to pass time to finish it. Well, either way, it's fine. What time is it? 8:30. So, here's our question. Are we going to save, or are we going to try to get the last 5% and then walk out and save? I think I'm gonna get the last 5%. Hey, Asher Kitty, I resemble that very strongly. This seems like a very reasonable interpretation of events. Okay, let's see here. How many we got? We have at least one mid-tier. Do we have any bosses? This is all weak ones. We should probably be fine here. Okay, we're at 62. It's 64. Perfect. Alright, so we're in the green again. Is that just one enemy? Is it a boss? It's not even a boss. Let's go. Alright, and by let's go, I mean let's stay right here because there might be more enemies in that room. Alright. We're at 65, but we aren't high enough to get the thing. Ooh. That's concerning. So we've aggroed some guys upstairs. How do we get up there? There's an elevator here. Ooh, this is gonna be rough. Okay, this is a door. Oh! Did they fall down? Interesting. Okay. Oops. Are we gonna go save? I think these doors close automatically. I don't know if... Oh, where the hell are you? Okay, so those are actually somewhere else entirely. We're gonna go save. We're just leave the dungeon and go save. Whew. Are you up here, actually? No. I don't know where those two are. Presumably they're on a different floor. I don't remember the layout of this place perfectly. This is like such a... It looks like a really big dungeon, but it's actually pretty tiny. Also, it's called the Hive, and it's called Colony Zod. It's called both. So if I leave, it says leave the Hive, and if I click on this, it says Colony Zod. So... I'm in the green, but I don't have any food. So... It doesn't matter. I've been in the green a billion times in the dungeon, but I didn't bring any food to the land of the giants. I could use the apples or whatever, but I'm not that scuffed with it because this is a pretty tiny dungeon actually. The bulk of this dungeon is the first few rooms actually, it seems. Yeah, I adapted to the food saves pretty quickly in terms of, like, being able to remember that it exists. Okay. Double captain that we managed to para. The other nice thing about doing an unarmed slash staff build that I think is pretty cool is the fact that with an unarmed staff build, I can stun enemies, but I can't paralyze them. And I think that the variance on the para is something that is... I think that it's cool to be able to do it, and I like it in theory, but in practice, the problem for me is that it adds RNG to my fights that I don't want to really have. It's like a little too powerful for such a rare effect for my purposes. Just because of the nature of like doing a challenge run, it feels weird to like paralyze the boss and then the boss is out of the fight forever, right? Like, it's cool, and it's funny when it happens. Oh. Actually, that... Who has the key?
We might need a key.
Okay. There's too many in this room for me to take them out manually. Let's see if I can get them to get some of them onto this. Ooh. Elevator. I trapped myself here, but it's okay because I can bring the elevator back down. They're just not stand in that exact spot again. There we go. So we can put this back up. And if I can get even like half of these over here, that would be good. I'd prefer to get fewer than half. I'd prefer to get like just a couple of them at a time. There we go. That's probably fine. There we go. And they actually all stood on top of that thing, which is very funny. Whew. We should be golden here. So we're going to take out about, what, like a third of the pack there? Oh, shit! Hello, Zenefex. How's it going?
Too easy.
How are your stats? Oh, Zenefex can cast Meteor Swarm. So if you randomly ran into Zenefex in the world map, Zenefex could also cast Meteor Swarm. Which is pretty cool. We're gonna go ahead and do this. Ah! No! Oh, so anyway, so Ralos is kind of a wild deity. But one of the things that I think is very funny about Ralosek is that Ralosek is a war god that could pretty much only exist in, like, a fantasy setting, or a war god that could only exist if there was an actual deity involved that had actual strong opinions and would smite you if you did any heresies, right? Because Ralosek is a war god that basically despises your classic warrior hero who, like, you know, sacrifices themselves in battle or, you know, otherwise dies in battle. If you die in battle, Ralosian characters and Ralosian dogma does not think you were a good warrior. If you die in battle, you're a bad warrior, according to Ralosian dogma, which is a wild thing for a war god to present. And Ralosek, by the way, war god, evil deity, right? So it is very, like, you know, holy shit, that's a wild, you know, that's a wild position for a war god to have. But it's also like, hey man, you know, war is kind of shitty for warriors. It makes a degree of sense that the god of, you know, exploiting warriors to, you know, exploiting the deaths of people for, you know, their benefit is potentially not, like, great about, you know, honoring those sacrifices, because if they had any respect for you, they probably wouldn't be throwing your life away in the first place, right? But anyway, so Relos is very fun. The deities in EverQuest, I think, are, like, just really interesting because they are so, like, wild and crazy. Let's see. I don't know very much about Khorne, right? But I also wouldn't necessarily, like, I wouldn't even necessarily think of the gods in, like, Warhammer to be like gods in the sense that you would, like, they're not deities in the sense of a normal pantheon, because they're more like, you know, abominable monstrosities with unlimited power who, like, reshape the world according to their whims, but they don't really have, like, standard relationship with like worshippers or each other. I don't think, because they have worshippers, but they mostly get worshippers by like warping their minds and bodies into like avatars of their own, nonsense. Which I guess you could argue for like pantheons where like creatures are created, like the different races are created by the pantheon itself, that there's a degree of that. Like the Relosian ogres are obviously like fitting of the Relosian ideal, but like I don't think that like Chaos Marauders are comparable to any like of the more like normal fantasy races that you would expect out of like most thingers. I'm actually not going to go downstairs. I was contemplating it, but I don't need to. I just got hit by a fireball, didn't I? Okay, I think we're good to just jump in now. Perfect. These do hit very, very hard, and if Silria goes down, it's GG, so we need to make sure that we are being a little bit more careful. And there we go. Colony Zod complete. A little bit harder than I was expecting, honestly.
I can't identify it. I can't identify
No space.
I was getting crushed so badly by the meteor swarms that I never really got the opportunity to realize how hard every other component of what they were doing was hitting. So cool beans. Nice. All right, so we can pop out of here. Mission successful. And that means we've finished Land of the Giants. I think we're going to pop out of here by tagging the obelisk thing. Not the obelisk thing, the shrine. Because I think we finished Land of the Giants completely now. So we should be able to... Oh, shit. I'm going to use an apple. It's almost 3 o'clock, and I think that there's a death check that I'm going to get before I get out of here. It would be so funny to have cleared that and then die on the way out without saving. I could just TP out if I wanted. But do I have to activate this side of the shrine in order to make this shrine in Harmondale work? I guess I could just find out. I could just TP to Harmondale, right? Let's TP to Harmondale.
So here we are, one happy family. Now we can let bygones be bygones.
You must be joking. After the wars you've caused? After all the people you've killed? You have caused much misery. Archibald Iron Fist, for your crimes against the kingdoms of Enroth and Arathia, for all the suffering you have caused, I hereby sentence you to...
Wait, Archie, you told me you and your followers moved to an island to continue
Archie.
your studies in peace. Are you willing to remain there and trouble us no more?
Yes.
He did save my life.
I think this is a mistake, but very well. I hereby sentence you to exile on your little island.
Wait.
Never to leave upon pain of death. Do you swear you will remain on the island?
I swear it.
Then go. I never want to see you again.
The score is even now, brother. Goodbye.
Wait.
Goodbye.
I didn't just soft lock myself, did I? Because do I have to lower the shield in that area to complete the main quest? And it seems like people think that I need to actually hit that thing. This is fine. If I've soft locked, yeah, like you have to lower the shield for one of the quests in Thinger. So if Archibald is hanging out in Clanker's lab, I don't know if I can. I don't think I can enter the dungeon anymore at that point. I didn't even need to teleport out.
Here we are, one happy family.
Okay, well, doesn't matter. But I underestimated how small that dungeon is. Okay, so we can save this under test. Oh, great. Okay, so I can't soft lock myself because Greyface is a beautiful, wonderful human being. God, can you imagine if Greyface just was an asshole? Because Greyface has no presence, to my knowledge. Like, I've never seen Greyface really talk outside of the patch notes and mechanical stuff. Oh man, God, how unfortunate would that be? Where am I going? Where am I going? Right, I'm going to the thing. So we're gonna fly over there, and we're gonna click on the thing from this side. Oh, interesting. Okay. I do love that we've completed, like, the late game stuff before the, before we get, like... Yeah, I definitely know that Greyface is, like, top tier in terms of, like, the, in terms of, like, the contributions that Greyface has put into Might and Magic are truly phenomenal. Like, I have so much respect. Oh, so Greyface does actually, like, that's interesting. There we go. All set. That's really interesting. Well, I'm very happy to hear that. You know? That's really great. God, the sheer volume of stuff that, like, Greyface has done for, like, the Might and Magic games. So much. So much. Alright, so we have a couple of slight bouts of insanity. I don't necessarily need to cure those immediately, because... Oh no, I'm teleporting around. I am going to need to do that. So did I just not turn in Lauren Steele? I thought I turned in the Tularian Forest thing, right? Did I just not do the Arathia portion? I'm going to check my bank and see if I have 10k after I do this. Oh, right! I remember now! I didn't do it because it was too late. I didn't do the turn-ins because it was like 2 o'clock in the morning or something. Now I remember. I went into the Tularian Forest Castle. I went into Castle, whatever that's called, and that's so funny. See. I think that it would have really hurt the longevity of the games in general. Like fixing dual wield for Might and Magic 6 is a pretty big deal, I think, in like the replayability and the desire to interact with 6 when like 7 exists, right? And 6 has a lot of really great stuff that it has in it, but it also just had a lot of weird stuff that was just kind of broken. and that they made significant improvements on in 7. And the having all of them like work consistently is, having dual wield, just like even just knowing how the dual wield system even works, because it was such madness before. It's got a really weird calculation that it doesn't tell you anywhere how it's calculated, is just a huge deal on its own. Should I just go train? No, I shouldn't train until I turn in these quests. So I guess I could get the golem pieces dealt with, because I have that quest to finish. Let's see. Da, da. I feel like part of, there was a big component to the Greyface patch that added to both the, thinking about, my live streaming stuff, I don't know how much live streaming I would have even ended up doing if I didn't have those Might and Magic runs. And the initial Might and Magic run, I didn't use the Greyface patch as an active choice not to use it. But without the information on Greyface's website, that run would not have really been feasible, because I don't do my own data mining. That's never been a thing that I've really done. I just don't have the patience for it. I like to just look at the numbers and play with the numbers. I don't like to find the numbers. I just don't have the patience for that. I think I might just wait for this. I think we're going to just wait. We're going to literally use the wait screen. And we're going to pop in here. We're going to turn this in. We're now in a wait period just generally, where we can do a couple of... This door is locked. Ooh. Okay, so we're going to have to reset this dungeon. Interesting. I wasn't expecting the door to be locked. So this is resetting the dungeon. I have concerns about how Castle Navan is going to work. Okay. So we've done that. We can just TP over to Tolarian Forest. Take a look at my mana right now. No! Did I seriously take that long? Shit. Wait, give me a second. Am I gonna miss out on the castle the quest here? Am I gonna miss out on this because I went to the thing first? I guess I could teleport into Castle Navan. Okay. So, if I can get the Riverstride plans out of my inventory... I need to find... It's not one of these. It's the wrong look, I think, for this. For things from this game.
That's no.
So many blasters. It's the... the red... There we go. It should be one of these. Let's see. I wasn't looking for the wrong kind of scroll. I was looking for the red one. I just completely missed the thing when I was... so everybody here should be friendly to me. They're just going to be trying to murder each other. And I grab the Griffin Heart Trumpet. And teleport to Castle Harmondale. Let's see. Augmentations. I don't even remember which mod this is. You know, for someone who didn't even use the Greyface patch because I was so against using mods for for the start of this channel, it's very funny how many Might and Magic mods I've played at this point. So I think that's all that we need in terms of this whole quest line, right? That is the one major event that happens, and we have the thing that happens there. What else? So what else do we need to do now? We need to get to Evanmorn Island. We need to get the golem pieces. I don't remember where they all are. I should have the legs and the arms in my inventory, I think. Are the legs and the arms all in the same places, or just is it just the legs? Okay, we have both the legs, we have both the arms.
Great. I don't know.
Let's see. It might be time to do some just chill inventory management, actually. Not even like anything crazy, just like really chill stuff, like wandering around, dropping off some of our thingers. So this is the torso. Yeah, let's actually do this. So I'm gonna pop over to Harmondale Castle, and we're gonna do some just chill inventory management for a little bit. Because I don't have... I think I did the really major moving around of all my equipment. So my equipment should be set up appropriately now. Whereas before it was kind of like a hodgepodge. I think that I'm happy with the setup that I have right now. I'm glad that I didn't throw Severia under the bus and just give Severia inferior gear to stack DPS on Ashcore. Because when Severia got buffed, it would have been... I'd have to rework everything. I don't like to... like having a character who is more powerful than the others, I think is fine. I don't mind going into like phases where the one character is more powerful than the rest. And in all honesty, I don't actually hate the idea of just hard investing into that character. I think that that's fun to do. But I don't generally like to do it for these games because they're characters that I'm creating. Oh, I'm so happy that we have our little torture dungeon. Let's see. Are there any chests in here? Am I not able to go in here? That's weird. I should be able to go in there.
Useless.
Let's see. Let's see. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, I don't even hate the idea of, I don't think I can get down here for some reason. Is this an issue with the swap to the mic? Okay, there we go.
Useless.
I don't remember having that much difficulty getting in here originally. But that's fine. Alright. I thought that there were chests down there, but apparently not. We might not unlock new chests until we get the next set of upgrades. Let's see here. So, okay, so we have a bunch of journal entry type stuff here. So we have a letter. Da, da, da. Okay. I don't think I need any of these right now. If I do, that's unfortunate, but I'm not going to worry about it. Let's see here. Do you have any other notes I can just drop in here? It's not the optimal organization. I think I'm going to make a chest that's just ectoplasm from the... or is it ectoplasm or ichor? Oh, we don't actually have that many chests here. Oh, I thought we had more chests available than this. Wow, we actually have a shit ton of these. I didn't realize that we had a whole other box full already of just random notes. That explains why I don't have that many left. Alright, let's toss our scrolls. We have the wisp wrappings. I guess we can't do that much just chill inventory management right now if we don't have the rest of the chests to do it with. So maybe I won't worry about that for right now. Let's see. That would be so funny. Oh. Oh, Judge Gray's untimely death. Oh no. This is all going very quickly. Does MergeBot advance the timeline on this or something? Because I don't feel like... Ambassador right and Ambassador wrong. Okay. I would like to invite you to find Judge Mayweather. Judge Fairweather. He's very fair. So we pop into Bracada Desert and grab... yeah, well, I guess we might as well. I was thinking that we'd have time to go to Evanmorn Island, but we just simply don't, I guess. We'll do Evanmorn Island once we have finished all this stuff, which honestly is good because if we do Evanmorn Island a little bit later, we didn't do the night quest either. Actually, it's Monday. I don't think that's true. I thought that it's a the timer is only started once you get the dwarf thing. Though maybe there's like an
Come on in, have a drink.
I already played Orca Mage with you. Are there any promotion quests? There are some promotion quests that we can do right now. Oh, right, I need to actually bring you to the place. There's some promotion quests that we can do. We'll probably be able to just turn in a bunch of stuff. But basically what I'm going to be doing is we're going to turn in all of the quests that we already have like pre-completed for the light side quests. We've already cleared the... That was not my understanding of it. Because my understanding was that because you can miss the
Perhaps we should draw the line here.
you can miss some of the events, but they have to happen in order.
Doesn't seem fair to me. How about here?
This is so funny.
Wait. How about this?
So it's such a like oversimplification of the politics, but it actually does make sense.
A toast, my friends, to peace. To peace.
It's hard to believe we were fighting each other when we all know who the real enemy is.
Is that a grave? The real enemy, plimps. We go to war with the golems. Oh, really? Is that the case? So basically, like, me and Rotoset are both working from different incomplete understandings of the fundamentals that are just kind of unknown. That checks out. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. Now, we should be able to, at this point, beacon to Bracada Desert, go into Celeste, drink from the fountain in Celeste, which will allow us to teleport here, which will mean that we can get rid of our beacon here, which will give us a slot empty for Evanmorn Island. But in addition, we're going to get a shit ton of experience just turning in quests that we already have complete. We're not going to go into the dungeons to do right now. Though doing the light side joining quest dungeon might actually make sense. Also, do I have to do that before I can get any of the quests? Let's see. Wild. Master of Light. Okay, that's a quest that we can do immediately. So we can immediately do these quests. We don't need to do the Proving Crowns immediately. Proving Crowns, did I say? Look, words are words. So I don't think that we can do the quests that we want to do yet, though. So, but we can do a night quest, and doing the night quests will be very valuable for us. We've already done the first promotion quest. We can do the second promotion quest now. I don't think there's anything that we need to do in here yet. Is this a dungeon or is this an exterior? Interesting. This is considered a dungeon. Let's see. So let's talk to... Yeah, we might actually just want to do this initial dungeon, actually. Just for funsies. What is my mana right now? I actually have mana regen on an item or something, huh? What do I have mana regen on? Regenerate spell points over time is on this ring. Do I have regen spell points over time on you? I do!
I'm not sure what it is.
Both of them have mana regen. I don't necessarily need... Ho ho ho. Let's see. Interesting. Well, the thing that I was thinking of is I don't necessarily need to cure the insanity now. If both of the characters have the ability to regen, then I don't have to worry about not being able to teleport around. I don't need to worry about the other stuff. The only concern is that Sylria is my primary healer right now, and Sylria doesn't have very much combat regen by default, because unlike Kortal, who gets the heal from hitting, or gets the regen from hitting, Sylria will only have the item regen, which is probably not going to be that powerful. I guess I can check. What is my current? 2.5 per second is not enough to allow me to spam, I don't think, for any meaningful period of time. Alright, we're going to pop in here. We're going to fill our packs, and we're going to use that to save. And we need to find our Archimage deck in somebody's inventory. You know, this music spontaneously just reminded me of Star Ocean for some reason. I have no idea why.
Come on in, have a treat. Come on in.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I didn't have enough to do that. Well, whoopsies. I'll use a rainbow. And we will use this. We'll use crystallize. We'll follow that up with forced labor and then a rock launcher. Okay, we're protected against archers. We're no longer protected against archers. I don't think it's going to take too long to get my tower up, so we're not going to do a power burn. It's tempting, though, because we do not have enough resource generation to do all of the... I'm so glad that they threw this away. They lose 10 gems and -1 dungeon. I think I'm going to do this just because I have the ogre on hand. And it didn't help me too much, but that's fine. Reinforce the wall. Okay, we should have enough wall now for our purposes. We don't really need to use the ogre. I don't really want to use the full moon because I don't want to increase their beast generation. -1 query, sure, let's go. We should be in a fairly advantageous position right now. As long as they don't get a dragon or something. And do I want... I'm not gonna get a recruit victory. So I'm just gonna use the ogre because it's better than throwing something away. It probably won't come into play, but it could if I got some really high value things right in a row. We don't need to use Discord right now, but it might become something that we need to use eventually. We don't really want to use work overtime, but I think I'm going to use one of them just because we do have a decent amount of these, and it played out fine for us. There we go. Mission successful. Okay. Next on our agenda is what? Right, we're going to pop over. We're going to do this dungeon quick. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to try to do this dungeon without invis, because I think that it's just not really reasonable to try to do this without invis. So we're just going to do it with invis and not worry about it.
It's a little dark.
With like in vanilla, I think that it's feasible to do this without invis. It's still kind of feasible to do it here, probably. But between the homing attacks and the sheer volume of damage that's going to be coming in, I have to try it for the lulls. You're so right. You're so right. I do need to try it for the lulls. Let's go.
What lies in
Wait, I wasn't... Why am I invisible? Not invisible.
This doesn't look too dangerous.
Invisible. Is this a merge mod thing? Okay. To make it so that, like, when you have a setup that doesn't have invis available to them, it's still possible to do the thing. That makes sense. That seems reasonable. Oh, jeez. I don't think I can... You know? Honestly, this isn't as bad as I expected. Does anyone actually know how this switch puzzle works, by the way? Like, does anybody have any idea how this is supposed to work? Wait, what? Where'd preservation go? Did Silver get knocked unconscious? Oh, shit. So sad. So sad.
Let's go.
You know what? Let's do this. And when you leave the dungeon, you keep your keys, right? I think you keep your keys when you leave the dungeon. So, one thing that I could do... I think I tagged that successfully? I don't remember what it does. It gives me an elevator or something over here? Oh boy. Is there any logic to the switch puzzle?
Let's go.
Because I always end up just like randomly hitting the switches. Because I think there are multiple solutions, right? Because generally, like, if I just randomly hit a couple of switches, the on one side, and then walk over to the other side, I can find a thing that works on the other side. Because it's not like each of these is separate, right? The both of them are connected together, I believe. Right? Like, I don't think that there's a combination here. Yeah, there's no combination here that'll work until you've done the other side. Let's see. So middle in on both sides is working. Is it just as simple as...
No room.
needing to, let's see. Is it just as simple as needing the middle one in and the others don't matter on both sides?
Ooh.
Now this will
Oh, we got a Hercules here.
Oh, there's no room.
Won't fit. No room.
it's worthless.
Hello. I guess I'll go up here.
We could sell it.
No, there's no
Won't
room.
fit.
My pack's full.
Won't fit.
I'm fairly sure that there are multiple combinations that work. Because I'm pretty sure that I've done combinations that involved multiple down at the same time on one side, and I don't think they were all mirror combinations either. I'm not 100% positive, but I believe that is the case. I believe I would have remembered if I stumbled into the exact same combination every time. 150 times that I've done this game. But it's but I don't, the thing is that I'm pretty sure that it's not like, oh, the thing is randomized each time. I'm pretty sure that there's just multiple combinations. So, but we'll test it out the next time we come in here. We'll do everything except just center. But the thing is that because I don't think it's random, you almost certainly can just put the middle in for both and it just works. That will probably work. But I'm not positive on it. I'm not positive on it. I just feel like I would have noticed if it was something as easy as middle in on both every single time that I did it. Such a relaxing quest. Until it isn't. I can't just open this, can I? Oh, I can just open it? That's kind of cool.
No space.
It won't fit.
Okay, so now we have all of the keys. And we can just walk out. Whoop. You know, it'd be really funny to just go back to the VODs and look at every time that I've done it. And it'll be particularly funny, I think, to do that and then see that, oh no, you did it the exact same time every time. It's one of the things that's funny about like having a live stream, right? It's just that it's like, yeah, we can just look. We can check your work, Ark. We've checked your work and found it wanting. Why would I have swapped to a different inventory while I'm in this place? What kind of mad bullshit am I up to? Now I have to find the keys in my multi-inventory. It's not one of these. Wait. What? Did I not swap to a different inventory? It just got... Okay. That was funny. I don't know where you're actually supposed to click, like where the interaction thing is. Because I just had to press spacebar. It's happened to me a couple of times, actually. Is I have done a thing. Okay, so we need to go. This is not the right way, is it? Why would this be the right way? I don't think you become a member of the guild until you complete this quest. And this should be Castle Lampent, considering that it's the place that's actually on my map. Just randomly walk to the town hall. Alright, so we now have this quest complete. We can pop back over to here, get the the quests that we have done already done. And we should have at least a couple done. I think, are we supposed to like intercept a jar, some of the lich jars? Temple of the Dark. Done the vampire quest. Yep, so we do need the soul jars. Okay. Sir Cannigan. Like John Van Cannigan? Hello, Robert the Wise. Temple of the Dark. Obelisk. Alright, so golem pieces. We have the head is in Bricata, right? So the Bricata head is here, which means that we should have all the pieces. We just need to loot the head. I don't think I have looted the head. Is the head in this chest? Yes. Oh.
Useless.
Alright. So, let's put all the golem parts in the same inventory. Not strictly necessary. Actually, they should all go in this inventory because the torso is big. Okay, so we're supposed to have 6 parts. So we have 4 limbs, torso, head. That's exactly what we're looking for. So we have this wizard quest complete. We can pick up the Archmage quest, which will require that we pick up a thing in the pit. We can also grab the quest for the knight thing. And for champion. So we need to win 5 tournaments. Do they have to be at least knight level, or do they have to be exactly knight level? Ranger quest, which, yes, we've also already completed. Good call. I always forget about the Ranger quest completely. Let's see, where is the... There it is. Bodybuilding. Oh, never mind. Okay, well, we need to actually give it to the... Yes, we don't give it to you. Good call. Good talk. Expert alchemy. Really? Interesting. Can I complete both of them? Interesting. Well, that will require that I do the previous promotion quest first, I believe, though, right? Oh, I thought I was supposed to... Don't I do the assembly lead? Follow menu? Oh. Okay. I completely forgot about that. Okay. Alright, so we need to go to the breeding zone for that. And we can TP somewhere else, probably. Alright, so we need to go to Tularian Forest. Let's do that. You know something that's interesting? I think that it's interesting that that Erathia was still locked, but Avli was not. Sorry, Anthony, I cannot. Right, I'm not supposed to talk to you. I'm supposed to talk to a tree. So we need to go to you. It was 3, 4, 3. Gemstone. Guards. Okay. Hello. How? Excuse me. Alright, so now we're gonna go turn in the ranger quest. Bum ba da bum ba da bum. Okay, what am I doing? We're going southeast. I know directions. Oh wow, it's only 10:40. Ranger Lord. Okay. Perfect. So that's done. We have the ability to pop over here. And I'm trying to remember. I think it's here. Because I want to get all of the I want to get all of these types of quests done. Just the ones that I already just have done preemptively. I want to get those done before we continue on. So we're gonna just walk back into the Titan stronghold and grab the perfect bow, because for whatever, I don't know why the perfect bow isn't here already. It seems like a strange decision to randomly make it so that this particular quest, the item isn't here. Very unusual, right? There's some quests where it would make sense if either the person or the thing isn't there in advance, because let's see, the ring in the Erathian cave. Is that the one for the guy in Harmondale? Because most of the quest items are just already there preemptively. The soul jars, the this, the that, all these things are generally pre-completable.
Useless.
So it's just weird that the perfect bow quest is randomly just
No space.
incompletable. I could see the Davric Palladium quest not being doable because he hasn't had his ring stolen yet until then. But even then, that's a strange creative decision from my perspective. But I don't know, it just seems very odd to do that with certain quests. My guess would be that there was
I have too much. I have too much.
there was probably a disagreement at some point during development as to whether how they were going to handle that, maybe. Whether quests should be pre-completable or not. So Altar of Evil we don't have pre-completed. Book of Divine Intervention we don't have pre-completed. Statuettes. We need to play Archimage in all 13 taverns. I think we should still have 2 left. Hopefully only 2, because tracking my achievements is going to be... I can't even scroll through this with my mouse scroll. It's going to be a pain in the ass to figure out which ones I haven't done if I haven't done some of them. Okay, so... Elder, Normal Marabou, Elder Archangel, Elder Champion. It's January 1st. Let's see. Oh, right. So we need to get here on March 20th or something like that. Which is kind of funny. Let's see.
traveling today?
We're going to need to do a bunch of arena battles at some point. I don't think we need to do those in the immediate term, but we do need to do them eventually. Unfortunately, I haven't been doing those consistently throughout the run, by which I mean I haven't been doing them at all. I don't think that I've actually done the arena so far this run. So what else do we need to do? Is there anything else that we have picked up and we can immediately turn in? I don't think so, right? But there should be other promotion quests that have just become available. So the priest quest requires going to the place. We have the Paladin quest. Paladin quest should be in Arathia. Warlock quest we can complete if that's an available thing that we can complete. So we can do the Warlock quest. We can't do the Warlock quest because we need to become Great Druids first, which means that we need to get to Evanborn Island first. So once we get to Evanborn Island, we can do both of those. Does Evanborn Island also require Sunday? Okay, right. So this just requires doing a little mini dungeon. So let's TP over to Deja. And I don't remember how hard this is by default. My recollection is not terribly. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to be hard now. We're not going to fight the guards. It's just not really our jam. Is this the tower? Yes, it is.
What lies ahead?
Is there just one? Right. Okay, completed 8% of the dungeon already. So let's take the elevator up. We're probably going to need to jump down immediately because might be useful. Oh, maybe we won't. Oh, that's funny. I didn't remember